Hey guys, we're back with another video on how to use NoCode-X. And today we will learn how to send the mails through an automated process that you can build with NoCode-X. Of course, on the one hand, we will use NoCode-X to build our automated process. On the other hand, we will need some kind of mailing service that allows us to send mails in an easy way. And for this demo, we've chosen Mailjet, which offers a way to send raw HTML mails or mails based on templates. You can even send campaigns and you can manage contact lists within Mailjet. Those two things are out of scope of this video. In this video, we will focus on sending a raw HTML mail and sending a mail that is based on a template that we create within Mailjet. So the first thing that you can do is head over to up.mailjet.com and create your very own Mailjet account. They offer a free account, so you can use this one to play around with. Once you've created your account, you arrive in a screen that looks a little bit something like this. And once arrived here, you can go to account settings. And underneath REST API, you can click a link called API Key Management, which will allow you to create an API key and an API secret that goes along with that key. And those are the two things that you need to integrate with NoCode-X. So once you have those two things, you can head over back to NoCode-X. I already have my application set up here. You can set up a new application or use one of your existing applications. But the thing is, the first thing that you need to do is head over to the hub, search for Mailjet, install the Mailjet plugin, and the latest version of Mailjet will start to install. And then, of course, we need a place to put our API key and our API secret. So what you can do in NoCode-X is you can create a piece of data in your built-in database. So let's call it Mailjet configuration. I can choose a data format called Mailjet configuration, which is actually installed with the plugin that I have installed just now. And this Mailjet configuration will allow me to add an API key. I can call it my API key. I can call, for example, of course, I won't fill in my real API key and my real secret. I'll do that offline. And what I can also do is add a from address if I want to use a default from address for every single mail that I want to send. The best thing to do for demo purposes is to use the mail address that you've used to create your Mailjet account, because that's default. By default, it is on the allow list of Mailjet, and actually your mail addresses should be on the allow list, or your mail domain should be on the allow list of Mailjet. Voila. I can also add an error mail address, which will be used to send mails to when something wrong happened during a mail sending. So probably most of the times that is if you have an error in the template within Mailjet, you get a mail explaining exactly what error occurred and how you can fix it. So I'll add an error name as well, so they know who to send those error mails to. So yeah, that's my Mailjet configuration. That's all saved right now. And let me just check for a very last time. Okay, this is on dev. Now I can start creating my automation. So what I want to do is really send a simple HTML mail. So I create a new action. I call this send my own HTML mail. And now within this action, I can call another action which is installed by the plugin. So I can just call send HTML mail, which is an action that has been installed by the plugin. And I can start adding some parameters or giving some values to parameters here. So I can add a value for from and from name, but I'll just leave those empty because I already added them in my configuration. So they will fall back to the default. I can also choose a to address. So I created a temporary email address to use for now, and let's just use from as a to name for this email address. And then I have to add a subject, so I'll just call this is my subject. I have to add a text version of the mail, so this is my mail for example, and I'll have to add an HTML version of that mail, so I'll just choose an H1 and call this is my mail. I'll correctly close that that HTML. Yeah, so what I can do now is I can test out my action that I've just created. So I can go ahead and use this test action button. I open up a name test and I give it a name, my first test, for example. I save this. Of course, this screen really comes in handy when you have parameters that you can pass along to your action. Let's for the sake of a demo, let's just create a parameter. Actually, let's create a little parameter that we'll call subject, yes, and let's pass the subject along as the subject of my mail, which is a really cool piece of a little bit of a demo here. So what I can do is I can open up my test again and I can pass along a subject. Hey, this is my subject for my mail. Of course, I can save this, so I can open this anytime I want, and it will have that exactly same value in that argument, and I can execute this test to quickly test out my action. Now, I don't have any errors in my logs, so I presume that everything went okay. So let's check out if I have received an email, and indeed I have. Look at this. I have an email that comes from tristan@nocodex.com, and the subject is of course, hey, this is my subject for my mail, and then of course this is my mail is the HTML content of the mail that has been sent. So that's really cool. Of course, I can add some other stuff right here. I can change the subject if I would want to. I can add more parameters, so I can use this anyway I would like to. I can send mails conditionally based on some properties in my database, stuff like that. So the sky is the limit really here. You can imagine everything. You can imagine that there is a whole lot possible with this. So this is really for sending an HTML mail, but sometimes you need a little bit more visually enhanced mails, and you need to send those same kind of mails over and over and over again. For example, a mail to allow you to reset your password, a mail that reminds users to start completing some of their information, stuff like that. So what you can then do is you can go inside Mailjet and you can create a template, and this template can be used to send mails, transactional mails actually, time and time again. So let's just go ahead and do that. Let's start. So what you have to do is you go back to your Mailjet dashboard, you open up email templates, and in this case we'll be creating a transactional mail. So open up transactional, create a new template, and then you can choose one of the templates that is one of the templates that I have, or you can create one from scratch. So choose what fits you the best. Let's just choose, let's celebrate this template. Celebration, let's call it celebration. Let's use this template, voila. And now Mailjet will start to create this template. Yes, I can also add some variables to it. So let's call it, hey, variable first name, for example. First name. Oh, I mistyped it. first name, and then maybe let's also add the last name, voila, and we are now 2 years together. So that's a good mail. So let's save and publish this, and once I have saved this, my subject line, once I have saved this, I will be able to use it within NoCode-X really easily. So let's save it, and now it is saving, and it will let me know once it's done, so I can start publishing it. Okay, and now it's done, so I can really start building in NoCode-X. So let me grab this template ID because I will need it. Okay, the first thing that I have to do, of course, is create a new action. So I can do so right here. Let's call this action sending a template mail. Let's create this action. Voila. So now the first thing that I have to do actually is I have to create, or I don't have to do this, but for the sake of this demo, of course, I want to create two parameters to this action. So I have a first name parameter and I have a last name parameter, which are actually the parameters that I added to my my template in Mailjet. So this will allow me to create an object to bundle those two parameters inside one bundled object. So let's just do that. I can create an object like this. I call the first name as the name of the attribute that I want to create in my object, and the value is within the parameter named first name. And then I use another attribute that I name last name, and the value of that should be used is within the parameter that is called last name. And this really creates an object. I will call it data for now. And what I can do now is I can execute an action, and this action I can choose from the actions within my application, but I of course choose send template mail, which is actually an action that comes along with the plugin that we have installed. And again, just like it was with send HTML mail, I can now add a from address and a from name, which I will skip because of course I have this in my default configuration. I can add a to address. So let's just go ahead and choose the address, my temporary address right here. So yeah, I'll just have to wait until this has been loaded. Voila. I can choose this to address. I choose the to name to be from. The subject is my subject. The template is ID it's of course not anymore on my clipboard. So let's go back to Mailjet. Let's fetch that template ID, and now I can add the data that I created as the data to this this action that I want to execute. So that's really it. Now I can test out my action. So I create a new test for this action, and I can add a first name and a last name. Voila. And I can execute my test. So as you can see, I have nothing in my logs. So I assume that everything went well and that my mail has arrived. So let me just check this. Maybe we should reload the mail template or the temporary mail, so to say, reload my inbox to see, okay, and there it is. There is a mail named my subject in my mailbox. So let's open it up, and there it is. And that's the template that I've created, and the placeholders are replaced, as you can see, with data that we've added to a parameter. Of course, this data can come from anywhere. This data can come from your database. This data can come from other APIs that you call, and so on and so on. As you might think of, everything is possible within NoCode-X. And this is really an easy way to send mails with NoCode-X. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it. And if you are interested in more, please keep watching these videos. And if you want to try out NoCode-X, please do. It's free for you to use. So dive in and have some fun. Bye.